All right, so happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to our February adoption event with CDCK. My name is Vivian and I am a volunteer. Before we get to meet some of our wonderful foster dogs, let me give you some background. City Dogs and City Kitty Rescues is located in Washington, D.C. We are a nonprofit that rescues animals in overcrowded rural shelters. We don't have a physical shelter, so all adoptable pets are in foster homes. So far, since 2011, we've rescued over 10,000 dogs. You can check out our social media at City Dogs Rescue on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. You can also check out our website at citydogsrescuedc.org. You can donate on there, see fundraisers, inquire about dogs, find foster and volunteer opportunities, and find more information. And to reiterate, that is citydogsrescuedc.org. So today I'm joined by, I believe, 14 wonderful fosters and their foster pups looking for their forever homes. So to everyone watching, feel free to throw your questions in the chat of the live stream as well. Again, thank you everyone for being here and let's get started. So first up, we have Charlie, who is being fostered by Harry. Charlie is a male boxer. He is 2 years old and 45 pounds. So what can you tell us about Charlie?
What can I tell you about Charlie? Charlie is extremely sweet, very bubbly, loves his people, loves to play. He loves to cuddle, as you can see. He's rolled up in his tight little cinnamon bun pose, which is his go-to. And gosh, what else you want to know?
Don't worry, I have a lot of questions for you. So how's he been adjusting to your home?
Well, he is very comfortable in the house. It has not taken him very long he's been here for about 3.5 weeks, I guess, almost a month. It didn't take him very long to figure out what was a toy and what wasn't a toy. He is, I would say, about 90%, maybe 95 now, potty trained. He's had, I can probably count the number of accidents he's had on one hand. He loves our dog. He likes having a dog roommate. And crate training has been difficult. We're going back to square one a little bit on the crate training, but the good news is that he has been fairly comfortable when left to roam free, especially with our other dog around. So all in all, adjusting very well to apartment life.
Well, that's good to hear. What does Charlie's ideal day look like?
I think Charlie's ideal day is a morning walk, of course. And then really what he wants from the rest of his day is to play with stuffed toys, maybe play a little tug of war, maybe do a little shredding, maybe do a lot of shredding. Um, and then he likes to burn energy either by running around at the park or in the woods, and then spends the evening curled up in cinnamon bun pose. Anything to add?
He's got
Awesome.
great zoomies, and
That's true.
when he says curled up in cinnamon bun pose, ideally on your lap for
Mhm.
that. He's kind of a Velcro dog. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, that's adorable. Well, do you have any stories you can share with us about Charlie?
I like the story you told the other night. Uh, we were sitting on the couch, much like we're sitting right now, but the two of us were sitting a little bit closer together, and Charlie was not satisfied with being on one side of us. He wanted to be in the middle, and so he curled up in the middle of us, and I realized that, oops, I know, apartment noises. I realized that he had curled up on our knees and was suspended over the couch. He wasn't even on the couch. He was so determined to be in between
On
us
both of our laps at the same time.
that he was on both of our laps at the same time and didn't even meet the couch. That's the only specific story. Oh, he also really loves, this maybe is not a story, but um, he loves to give hugs. He'll force his way up into your lap so that he's kind of doing his old man sit which there are photos of on his adoption page, his little old man sit. He'll do his old man sit on your lap and then put 2 paws on your shoulder and then rest a head on one of your shoulders. Just give you a hug.
Oh, well, that sounds really adorable.
It is really adorable.
Great. Well, what do you think Charlie's ideal forever home looks like?
You know, he's done really fine with like apartment living when it comes to like he's he's definitely still like adapting to noise, but it's not like it like really like freaks him out or anything to like hear neighbors walk by and stuff. So really any kind of home. Just someone who's gonna be willing to like let him go a little crazy with the zoomies when he needs to burn energy. Someone who doesn't mind the guts of a stuffed animal on their floor for for a decent portion of the day, and someone who is gonna want him. Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
Here, give me 1 second to figure out.
No worries.
Live stream stopped. I think Mila, who is hosting this meeting, should be. Let me send her a quick message. Her internet must have dropped or something.
Good to go?
Okay. Yeah, just someone who wants him around as much as he wants to be around, which is a lot of the time. He has been a great addition to our work from home life. A very productive employee. So yeah, just someone who's like willing to take him to the woods, burn some energy off, and then do a lot of snuggling. It's his perfect home.
That sounds great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Charlie?
I don't think so. He's 2 years old, so he's still got like a decent amount of energy. You can really see the difference compared to our dog who's 6 years old. So even though he's, fully an adult dog, he's still got plenty of vim and vigor to his play. That's really nice to see.
And he plays very well with other dogs.
Yeah.
He loves to play with other dogs.
And
Well, that's great to hear.
Great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. And of course, thank you, Charlie. You can find more information about Charlie at cdck.cc/adoptcharlie. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Adopt Charlie.
All right. So next up, we have Aaron. Aaron is being fostered by Kate. And Aaron is a male pit bull terrier mix. Aaron is 1 year old and 49 pounds. Kate, could you start by telling us about Aaron?
He just lost his bone. Oh, it's in his mouth. Okay, so this is Aaron. He is getting to snuggle and chew a bone, which is not typically how we chew bones. But Aaron is a great guy. He is younger than a lot of our fosters. So when he came to us, I was kind of like, oh, puppy. But he is such a good guy, and he's figuring out, and I'm figuring out how to kind of manage some of his puppiness. But he's super sweet, very snuggly. Yeah, great outside, and just learning to be like a big dog who controls some of his impulses. But he's housebroken, he's crate trained, he naps really well in his crate. And yeah, he's pretty much learned what he is allowed to chew and what he's not. We don't really have issues with that anymore. What are you doing? He's totally upside down. Sorry. There he is.
All right. Well, you mentioned that he young. So how is he doing with his training so far?
With his training, I mean, he's probably the easiest to train dog that we've had. I taught him sit like one day in like, a 10-minute session, and in 2 days, and then we would just kind of apply naturally, like when it was time to eat or whatever. And then we were at PetSmart which he does great in public and busy places. We were at PetSmart, and the attendant asked him to sit and decided to do it without the word and only the hand motion. And he did it, which is super impressive in 2 days that he was there. And then we just recently started doing a little bit of like leash training work. He can be a little frustrated when he doesn't get to say hi to every dog. The way that comes out is that then he'll bite his leash or maybe come back and try to mouth me. And so I introduced treats on our walk to help before he gets overstimulated. And he's funny, like we did it once with a dog, and then he saw like a truck drive by and he was like, that moved. Do I get a treat for that? Like he totally asked me this. And I was like, no, not for that. He's like, okay, not for trucks. But he knows that for dogs, he can get treats. He knows for squirrels, if he gets a little excited by a squirrel, he knows that he needs to manage his own excitement and he'll grab a stick. We do a lot of walking with sticks, but he's really good at being like, I'm a little excited and I don't want to make the wrong choice. And then he'll find a way to deal with that excitement by getting a stick or it's just really good self-regulation for a dog this age. And for me, shows that like, he's just going to be awesome. Like he knows when he needs to regulate and how to regulate. Not 100%. I have to make sure he gets enough sleep. If he doesn't sleep enough, he has a harder time with regulation, but as long as all his naps are protected, he does great.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear.
The sleep thing is just, he often needs like an afternoon nap around 3 or 4, and my kids are coming home then, and suddenly it's really exciting in the house and he forgets to nap. It's too much fun. And then he's like, oh my gosh, now I'm too excited about life. But once we get him to sleep, he starts, I don't know, making good choices again. He needs a lot of sleep.
Got it. Well, how does Aaron do with other dogs?
He does really well. My dog's a 10-year-old hound, and she doesn't like younger dogs, or she doesn't tolerate younger dogs nonsense. They walk together and all that's fine. But he will come and ask to play like when they're out, and she's usually like, no, just leave me alone. But other dogs who want to play, he does great with. He does great walking by dogs, meeting other dogs. Definitely has a play mindset with other dogs and has done well.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, what has surprised you the most about Aaron?
Yeah, probably just how fast of a learner he is. Other little things like when he came to us, he was mouthing a lot and sometimes barking for attention. And we've been working hard to extinguish those behaviors. And he's kind of realized on his own without me training, like we definitely work on extinguishing, but he's developed his own replacement behavior, which is like coming up and leaning on us, like Velcro dogging. And it's like, yes, this is an appropriate way to ask for affection. But he developed the ask on his own, and he puts it into play. Like today we went out at lunchtime for just a quick walk, and I was like, oh, it's so nice outside, it's so warm. And so he was all happy too, and he just kept like leaning on me, and it's like, no, you're supposed to be going pee-pee. But he's like, no, I'll just lean and ask for affection. So he's a smart guy. But he's not, he puts his intelligence to good. Hold on, he's trying to get something.
Awesome. Well, what do you think his ideal forever home would look like?
So I think we have down that he shouldn't be with with like young kids, just because he's still working on his mouthing. But besides that, I have teenagers, and and he does well with them. And sometimes he needs a little bit of extra support, not doing some of his attention seeking behaviors with them, some of the mouthing and barking, but he's doing really well. And when we work on extinguishing with them, he does well. He loves them. Sometimes it's just a little much, but yeah, a busy household where he doesn't have to be a busy household, a household where he will get plenty of affection. He loves going for walks. he can go out to events and like restaurants and stuff. He'll need some support at this point to make the right choices, but as he gets older, he's just going to be amazing. And yeah, he needs somebody who's going to help him keep making the correct choices, like recognize that the adolescent brain can be needs some extra support. Right.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Aaron?
No, I feel like I've made him sound like such an adolescent, but he is. Yeah, he's just a really good guy. Super trainable, still young, super sweet, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Did he show off
right.
his? He's got a tongue toy. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kate, and thank you, Aaron. So you can find more information about Aaron at cdck.cc/adoptaaron. Right. Thank you guys again. All right, so next up we have Chloe. Chloe is being fostered by Meg, and Chloe is a female hound. She is 1 year old and she is 38 pounds. So for those who did not see the event last month, can you tell us a little bit about Chloe?
Absolutely. There she is. It says that she's 30, like 38, 39 pounds. I think she's a little bigger than that. I think she's probably closer to 42 or so. Unfortunately, we don't have a scale. But she's been with us since about last September. So we've learned a lot about Chloe, and she's a little over a year old, I think. Still has some of that puppy energy, but you can see her right now. She's zonked for the day. She's had a busy day and is now happily in her quiet nap time.
Got it. So since you've had her since September, what changes have you seen in Chloe since then?
She has changed so much. So we got her in September, and she had already been with, I think, a foster or two, as they were trying to find a more long-term foster for her. She's learned how to live in a house, basically. She's fully crate trained. She does not have accidents anymore. She goes to her crate by herself. She eats in her crate. When she needs a little bit of break from chaos or just wants a little bit of Chloe time, she'll go into her crate and settle down there. She has really calmed down since we first had her. Not nearly as a puppy as she was, but she still has so much energy. She still loves life. She still does silly things, still gets into adventures. But in the time we've had her, she's just settled into who she is. And she's learned a lot of, rules about being in a house and how to be part of a family, which is fantastic for her.
She sounds absolutely adorable. What is your favorite thing about Chloe?
I think just her energy, and everything to Chloe is an adventure and exploration. She brings that out in other people. We have 2 teenagers similar to the previous family, and she loves the teenager energy. I think her ideal family would be somebody who either with teenagers or space for her to run around and get her zoomies out. She loves her walks, and she'll do amazing things. We're on a walk and there's a hill that she really loves. She'll roll on her back and kick up her legs every time we go to the hill. Every time we pass the house with the squirrels, she slows down and starts stalking them to see, are there squirrels here again today? So she just has such an interesting, fun way of interacting with the world. I think that's my absolute favorite thing. And she loves snuggling. She's become such an amazing snuggler. She'll roll onto her back, put her feet up in bed. She'll, crawl on your lap. She's just become an amazing dog.
She sounds adorable. Yeah, well, what is her favorite thing to do?
What is Chloe's favorite thing to do? She loves her meals. We also have another dog. She loves to play with him. I think keeping an eye on the squirrels is probably her favorite thing in the world. And she's actually not very barky at squirrels. She likes to monitor them. She will absolutely, she's a dog and she's a part hound, so she will bark, but she's not as barky. We had a terrier before and who was very barky at squirrels, but she likes to keep track of the squirrels. She likes to keep herself busy and engaged. So she has Kongs throughout the day, but she's also very good at routine and a schedule. So I work from home and she goes after we do a morning walk and some exercises and a little bit of training. She'll just go in her crate and take her morning nap for a few hours, a couple hours while I work. And then she knows it's time to come out and get a little bit of exercise. So yeah, she's a pretty amazing dog.
Thanks, thank you for sharing. Next, what do you think her ideal forever home would look like?
Well, on the last call, I said, let's see what I think I said that she loves teenagers. I wish I had said earlier too. I think she would love to have a house with teenagers. She's really good with teenagers. In fact, you have teenagers with, who are a little introverted. She brings out the best in them and she loves their energy. But we went away for a week and had her stay with another foster who was a single mom, and she did fantastic in her house too. So she's so adaptable. I think any little kids, probably because she, like a couple of other people said, because she's young, probably not ideal. But yeah, I think she would do well almost anywhere. And she does. We have a backyard. She loves a backyard. What dog doesn't love a backyard there, right? So if we were being ideal for Chloe, I think a backyard and some teenagers and a little bit of somebody to share her hijinks with her will probably be her ideal home.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Chloe?
I don't think so. I think that's it. We've gotten to know her really well since she's been with us since September. And we have another hound that she has bonded with nicely. And I think any family that gets her would be really lucky. She's spent a lot of time learning how to behave in a house and would be absolutely a wonderful addition to any family.
Great. All right. Thank you for sharing. And thank you to Chloe, of course. You can find more information about Chloe at cdck.cc/adoptchloe. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right. So next we have Kimblee. So Kimblee is being fostered by Sebastian. Kimblee is a male Labrador Retriever mix. Kimblee is 6 months old and 28 pounds. So Sebastian, can you start by telling us about Kimblee?
Hi, so this is Kimblee. As you can see, he's in a bit of a food coma. He's stretching those paws out. He's 6 months. He's actually probably closer to 35 pounds now. He's definitely growing, and as you can see from the size of the paws, he's got a ways to go as well. He loves to cuddle. He loves to nap and stretch out, as you can see. And he's just a great little puppy. Certainly a little puppy still, because he's definitely going around chasing birds and looking at the squirrels like Chloe as well. But he's friendly. He doesn't do it in an aggressive manner. He loves going on long walks as well. But I think his favorite thing to do is just chew on his toys, which he's very good about sticking to the toys. He might end up nibbling on your toes or your fingers a little bit, but he is good about sticking to his toys and not the furniture or anything like that. But yeah, he loves a good cuddle and a good nap and a good scratch.
Well, that's great to hear. Well, what is Kimblee's favorite thing to do?
He just loves playing. He's definitely, if you start picking up with his one of his toys or even one of the ropes, he'll definitely jump in right away, and he won't stop until you stop. And whether it's playing with a ball or playing fetch outside, he is retriever, so he does love to fetch. And he's definitely got a lot of energy. Once he gets motivated, he can be very energetic, but then he burns it off quickly, and then he's napping.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier how he is also very young, but he has a lot to learn. So how is he doing with his training?
So with crate training, he's doing pretty well. He doesn't have any accidents in his crate, and he's starting to go into the crate by himself. When he's tired and things like that. He does get some separation anxiety if we leave him in his crate and step out for a couple hours, he will bark for the first 10, 15 minutes, and but that's really the only time that he barks ever, is when he's alone and feeling lonely. He is also pretty good. He's getting better, I should say, about potty training. He did have a few accidents early on in his stay, but that's, I think, mostly due to some digestive issues that seem to have been resolved. And now he's on a pretty set routine. And that being said, if you don't take him out if he's not in his crate and he's out wandering in your house or your apartment, and you don't take him out after about 3 hours, he might have an accident. You run a high risk, but he's improving slowly, and he'll get there.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. How has he been adjusting to your home?
Oh, he's perfect. We actually have quite a steep staircase, and we were a bit concerned about that. So we at first gated it, but now he's leaping up the staircase. He's got no problems going up and down. He doesn't nibble on any furniture or anything that's not his toys. And yeah, he likes to look and cranny to see what's up. But other than that, once he's done discovering, he's pretty complacent and likes to stick to his cushion or his usual spots.
Awesome, awesome. Well, what do you think his ideal forever family would look like?
I think, well, at this stage in his life, we'll see. I think for now he does need someone who, a family that does have someone who's able to either work from home most days, or at least come home for part of the day to be with him and walk him. As I said, he does get some separation anxiety and does love his walks, so he definitely needs to go out during the day. So other than that, he is fantastic with other dogs. He's so far been very good with children as well. He hasn't gotten very close to toddlers or any of those small children, but he's very friendly, and so I think he's suitable for most types. But as I said, preferably someone who's able to at least be present in the home for part of the day, most days of the week.
Got it, got it. Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about Kimblee?
He loves people watching. He loves getting to know people as well as their dogs. He's more interested in the people. We have soccer fields by us, and every time we walk by, he just wants to sit in front of the soccer field and watch the children play with the ball. He's just lovely, and he loves to cuddle. And if you're sitting down, he'll come right up to you and just put his head in your lap and stay there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing everything. And of course, thank you to Kimblee. You can find more information about Kimblee at cdck.cc/adoptkimblee. All right. Thank you, Sebastian, and thank you, Kimblee. All right, so next up we have Lannie, or Lannie. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She's being fostered by Sasha. Lannie is a female hound, 2 years old, and she is 35 pounds. Sasha, could you start by telling us about Lannie?
She is from Bladen County, and she's definitely a hound. We have been working on gaining some weight for the past 3 weeks, so she's now closer to 40, I think. So those ribs are not showing anymore. She was a little bit underweight. She is a wonderful and charming 3-year-old lady who likes to nap, and she loves humans. She loves meeting new people. So far as we know, we've tested her with several dogs. She's great with dogs, and she's just wonderful to be around. Since her arrival, we have not had a single accident. Not a single accident. On day 2, she learned how to sit. In a week, she figured out that she can ask to go potty, and we have not been working on many commands, but she also has learned to wait until we prep her food. So she waits patiently. She is doing very well in the crate. She sleeps overnight in the crate, and we crate her for several hours occasionally during the day when we are out. she has been doing fine, does not really show signs of separation anxiety. There have been cases when she was not very happy to be sent to the crate, but there is always something, there is a reason for that. It's like she needs to go out, or she, wants to explore more, but she usually settles very quickly in the crate. What else? She has been doing fine on the walks. However, when we got her, when I was submitting the first foster sort of report, we were surprised that she absolutely did
Sorry,
not.
Cynthia, I didn't want to interrupt you, but could you speak just a little louder?
I'm sorry. Yeah, she has been absolutely not happy about going outside. We would go outside for 5 minutes, just to do business, and then she would run home. She just loved being in the house, loved being in the couch, and it was very hard to talk her into going outside. But 3 weeks later, she is a different dog, and she now wants to go outside occasionally. We don't go too far, but she enjoys her sniffs now.
Gotcha. That sounds great. Well, how is Lannie around other dogs and people?
She's great around other dogs. Last weekend we had friend's dog visiting, so they actually cuddled together. She's nice and gentle. She shows no signs of aggression. Does not like we have not heard her voice really. She on the walks gets a little bit uncomfortable with other dogs in the neighborhood barking in their yards, so she doesn't really like that. So we have been working on sort of, desensitizing her to that. But when she is in a close contact with a dog, she is really doing great. She makes friends with dogs and humans.
Awesome, awesome. Well, how has she been doing in your home?
She loves blankets, and she loves soft surfaces. She has several favorite spots. This is one of them. She is a curious hound, so she, is still exploring many things, and she loves to like walk around and sniff things. So she's been great to be with.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. Well, if Lannie could plan a perfect day, what would it look like?
Lots of naps, and there's some active time in early afternoon when she wants to, be entertained, or she's curious about things. She wants to go out, but then we come back and we nap again. So right now it's all about naps, but we feel that it might, she's still opening up, and this might change a little bit, but she definitely likes to snooze and to cuddle. So that would be her perfect day with lots of food and good treats.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Well, what do you think her ideal forever home would look like?
It can be any home as soon as she has a loving family. She will be happy. She's very adaptable, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about Lannie?
Lannie loves to be in the sun, and she loves to pick the sunniest spot in the house and just stay there and enjoy it. The other day, when we were coming back from a walk on a sunny day, she didn't want to go inside and wanted to stay on the porch just to be in the sun. So that was very, very interesting and endearing. Some other things about her. Some surprisingly is very particular about treats. And she loves treats, but she for some reason does not like the training treats. So we were trying to fool her, but she cannot be fooled. We were trying to fool her by putting the training treats together with her kibble to see what is going to happen. And she's very smart. She ate everything around those treats and left all the training ones in the bowl. And she doesn't really like she's not playing with toys. We have not seen her playing with toys, but she does really great with puzzles. So she likes to be entertained with puzzles.
Right, she sounds awesome. Well, thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Laney, of course. You can find more information about Laney at cdck.cc/adoptlannie. Thank you, guys. Oh, so adorable. All right, so next up we have Marley. So Marley is being fostered by Jessica. Marley is a male German Shepherd Hound mix. He is 2 years old and 62 pounds. So Jessica, can you tell us a little bit about Marley? I think you may be on mute if you're talking, by the way.
Hi, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, I have a second dog and she's like kind of going crazy. Marley is actually being totally fine right now. Um, Marley is so sweet. So when he came to me, he had some issues at first, so he wasn't fully potty trained. But since then, just in like the 2.5, 3 weeks I've had him, maybe you can see him better. Are you gonna cooperate, Marley? Marley. There you go, baby. He's super sweet. He's very well behaved. He's fully potty trained, fully crate trained. He doesn't whine at all when I put him in the crate at night, and he sleeps for a full, like, oh, hi, baby, 8 to 10 hours. He's also great about calming down when I put him in the playpen. I have no issues with that. I've been sending him to doggy daycare. He does really well there. He plays really well with the other dogs. The staff loves him. He's super friendly. He's just the sweetest little boy.
Awesome, that's great to hear. What is your favorite thing about Marley?
Marley is honestly just like such a cuddler. Whenever I'm working, he likes to cuddle up by my desk. This is my other dog, Shiv, stuff. He's just super sweet, and the staff says the same thing. Like he just loves to cuddle up on them most of the time he's there. And he's just very friendly. Like he just plays well with every dog. Yes, Shiv.
All right, so what has surprised you the most about Marley?
I think honestly, just what a quick learner he is. Just in the 2.5 weeks I've had him, he's made shift. So much progress being potty trained. He also had a lot of issues walking on a leash. But he's been so much better about that ever since I got him a harness, guys. Sorry. And yeah, so he's a very quick learner. I think he's a very easy dog to train. Okay, why don't you guys go do that? Sorry, they're like playing.
What is Marley's favorite toy?
He loves his lamb chop. So that is hands down his favorite toy. He needs that at night when he's pregnant. Nice. So definitely his lamb chop. Oh, Marley.
Oh, that is so adorable.
Yeah, he really plays so well because she's such a small dog. I was really worried about that. But he's just the sweetest with her. Yeah.
Oh, good to hear. Well, what do you think his ideal forever home would look like?
So I think a lot of people think German Shepherds need like a backyard, and he is definitely an active dog, but I live in an apartment and he's been totally fine with that. I think he just really needs someone who, has the time to take him to the dog park in the morning and has the time to take him on lots of walks. But otherwise, I think he would do well in any home that has loving people. I think he would honestly do really well in a home with another dog. I think having my dog to play with has really kind of helped calm him down quite a bit.
Right, well, that's good to hear. Is there anything else you'd like to share about Marley?
No, just like he's super friendly, as you can see. And yeah, I think he's such a great dog. He's so sweet.
It looks adorable. Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Marley. You can find more information about Marley at cdck.cc/adoptmarley. Thank you guys again. All right, so up next we have Matilda. Matilda is being fostered by Sinead and Ari. Matilda is a female boxer. She is 1 year old and 50 pounds. What can you guys tell us about Matilda?
Um, well, I let's see. I think you have to enable our video. I'm happy to talk about her, but
Here we go.
there we go. Okay. Hi.
There we go.
Well, I can tell you that Matilda has been passed out and snoring peacefully on my hand for the last 45 minutes. And she's about 1 year old. She's very puppy-ish, but she is I mean, I've known a lot of dogs in my life, and I have yet to come across one that's as affectionate and loving as this one. Especially given what limited, we were told that she was basically walking around on the streets looking for food, and she has clearly been loved, and she has clearly got a lot of love to give. She is she's crate trained. She's kind of a perfect dog. I mean, she's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of house training. But that's really more the exception than the rule. And we like I said, we've only had her for like 8 or 9 days, and we've really started to trust her with our other 2 dogs. She just kind of chills. I'm going to try to get her to like say hi a little bit more than she has been. But she's a pretty she really doesn't want to wake up. She's been a pretty good walker. She does, do better with a harness. But she's pretty great. I would say that she definitely needs to be in a situation where there are other dogs, at least in the vicinity, because she is a insatiable player, especially with other young dogs. She plays perfectly, like, just the right amount of, wrestling and chasing. She doesn't have a ton of an appetite. She's not super food motivated, but she eats eventually, if given the proper motivation. But yeah, she's kind of, I don't know, she's just the sweetest dog I could possibly imagine.
Awesome. Well, I know you said that you've only had her for 8 or 9 days, but so far, how has she been adjusting to your home?
So it's interesting. We picked her up from the intake, and she was kind of, pulling in all different directions and really nervous. But as soon as we got her into the house, we let her do her little sniffs around. She's a puppy, so she's very curious. She wants to play with everything. But especially with our 2 dogs, which they can be a little bit, crotchety sometimes. She's really just being a wonderful addition. And like I said, when it's time to go in her crate, she pretends to protest a little bit, but she'll go in there right away and just lay down and, either chew on one of her toys or go to sleep. So she's adjusted beautifully, especially since we live in like a pretty loud environment because of our neighbors in the street, and she doesn't bark at all, really. She's just a really chill dog. She's great.
That's great to hear. Well, how is she doing with her training?
So, like I said, if someone were to adopt her, they would want to make sure that they're reinforcing peeing outside, because she does get excited and still have some accidents. She does need a little work with the on the leash training, although it's getting better since we got her just a week ago. I think that as she gets older, some of the puppiness, will naturally abate a little bit. She won't necessarily want to chew on coasters, but I mean, she's not really destructive. I mean, she got a piece of ornamental wood in her mouth at one point, kind of chewed that apart, but that's more on us than it is on her because we left it on the ground. So she's doing really great with training.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is that she, one area of improvement is that she gets a little food defensive at mealtime. But there's an easy solution. We just take our other dogs into another room, and she's totally fine.
Which is weird because she doesn't really necessarily want to eat the food, but she definitely wants to protect the food.
Yeah.
So.
Got it. Okay, thank you for letting us know. And what is her favorite thing to do?
Her favorite thing to do is she will not even wake up. Her favorite thing to do is definitely chase other dogs around and play. She's also really into her little tug of war toy, and she really loves toys. She loves sniffing. I think someone else, on this Zoom said that their dog was like really curious of squirrels, but didn't have that like must kill prey drive. She's kind of similar, but really, I just take her to the dog park. She is, endlessly curious with tennis balls and other dogs. If they're around, she's the best player, as long as they're down to play. But she backs off if they're not. She's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how she came out this way, but she's great.
Awesome. So I know earlier you said how having her in a home with other dogs would be very beneficial to her. Could you elaborate more on like an ideal forever home and what that would look like?
Yeah, I don't even know if it needs to be another home with other dogs. Just, if there's a good active dog park in the area, it would be great. But I think the ideal home, if there was another dog, it would be another dog that was playful and, was kind of a more sociable dog. I would say that because she is still a puppy, I mean, she's never shown any aggression except for when she gets defensive around her food. But still, small children, she's not huge, but she's a tank. She's 50 pounds of muscle. So I would say, older kids. But she really honestly doesn't need a ton of space. I mean, obviously a backyard would be great, but mostly she's just curious about exploring.
Right, yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Matilda?
I mean, she's kind of a goofy, silly dog. I kind of wish she was not in her nighttime mode right now because, she's like not waking up no matter what I do. She's a great dog. She's
so easy to love. You get attached to her really
Yeah.
easily. She's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, thank you guys so much. And of course, thank you, Matilda. So you can find more information about Matilda at cdck.cc/adoptmatilda. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Nash. Nash is being fostered by Keaton. Nash is a male Labrador Retriever mix. He is 2 years old and 62 pounds. So Keaton, can you tell us a little bit about Nash?
Yeah. Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Similar to Matilda, Nash is kind of zonked right now, but Nash is just like the sweetest dog, honestly, I've ever encountered. He's just has every bone in his body, is one that loves all people and dogs. He's just really sweet and gives lots of kisses. And yeah, he's great. He has like kind of like the perfect amount of energy, I'd say. He definitely loves to play. Though my dog is very choosy, let's say, and when Nash like gets too riled up, my dog tells him and he backs right off. So he's just like really respectful, I think, of other dogs. We took him to the dog park. He did great. And yeah, he just the sweetest can be.
Awesome. Well, it's great to hear. Well, how did you around other dogs and people?
Yeah, so like I said, he's great with other dogs. So that's great. My dog is super particular and he's really great with him. This is probably the best we've ever had a foster do with my dog. So I'd say he's like A+ there. He did great at the dog park. He's really good with other dogs that we've met on the street. So that's been really great. He's really sweet with people. Though I will note that he when he meets someone new, he likes to bark at them. So every time someone comes to the house, he just barks. And I think that's something he can really work on. So whoever adopts him just would want to work on that and like meeting strangers. He's never like aggressive. We trust him around people, but he just likes to bark. And usually he settles down. We found that if we just like take him out of the house, or if he starts out of the house and then comes in, sometimes that helps. But we've had lots of people come and go, and he barks for a while and then settles down. So, but yeah.
All right, thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us a story about Nash to give us a sense of his personality?
Yeah, I was trying to think about this. He's so funny. Like he's just a fun, I'm like similar to Matilda, he's just like zonked out, but he's I think the probably the best anecdote for Nash is every night. So he sleeps in a dog bed next to our bed upstairs. And every night before we go to bed, he just puts his paws up on my husband's side of the bed and licks him, gives him some like kisses on the face. And then he walks around to my side of the bed and gives me kisses on the face. Just like, and it's so sweet. He just like says goodnight and then goes to his bed and sleeps right next to us. So I think that's like I think that's just like his personality in a nutshell. He's just so sweet and so loving. I also think it's hilarious. I wish he wasn't asleep right now too, but when he gets off the couch, sometimes he'll put both paws down on the floor, but leave his butt on the on the couch, and he just kind of like stretches all the way out until his tippy toes are on the couch and nothing else until he gets off. But he's just like such a funny dog, and if you go look at his pictures online, he's always like a belly up. Just like the funniest little expressions, little underbite. So yeah.
Well, how is he doing with his training?
Good. He's doing well. He has had exactly, I think, one or two accidents in the same night, and we like think he was just overstimulated, but otherwise like no accidents in many weeks. So his potty training is great. He always goes outside. He'll let us know if he needs to go outside. He is still working on crate training. He doesn't love being in his crate for a long time, but he does we feed him in there and he quiets down and he waits until my dog's done with his dinner. So that's been really improving a lot. So that's been great. He can sit and loves to sit for treats. We'll do anything for treats. And something we noticed about Nash is he just loves being with his people. So the nice thing about that is that he's doing great with like recall. So even when we were at the dog park, or yesterday, he like snuck out of our backyard just real quick and we just called him back and he came running. So I think with a lot more training, he would be really, really great. He's very trainable, very food motivated. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, what do you think his ideal forever home would look like?
I mean, I think Nash could fit in a lot of places. I do think, as I mentioned, I think it'd be great if his forever family could put some time into just like getting his training or continuing his training. So working on crate training, working on the barking, and just like meeting strangers. It'd be great if there was another dog, but I think he would do okay by himself. I definitely think he gets a little bit anxious when we're gone. Nothing crazy, but he will just get into like little bits of trouble. So I think just someone who's up for doing the work of just getting him like to the next level with training, I think would be really great. I would say probably not a home with small children. Like I think if they were slightly older, it'd be better. He's so sweet and loving. Like I'm never worried about him like doing, like biting or nipping or anything, but I am worried. Sometimes, he just like jumps up and he gets excited. So I think just having some older children or children that aren't quite so easy to knock over. But I think he'd really do well in a lot of situations. He's both, he has energy for walks and things, but he also is happy to crash on the couch while we work, which is great. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about Nash?
I don't know. I will say that we have fostered a number of dogs, and we were not supposed to keep him this long. We like my husband is traveling and I was traveling, but we just like couldn't bear to say goodbye because we just think he's such a special dog. And we know we can't like keep him long term, but we like are just so jealous of the family who gets him forever because he's such a good dog. And just so sweet and loving. And yeah, I also wish he was awake because he just has the sweetest little underbite, but he's just such a good dog.
Yeah, he sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keaton, and thank you, Nash. Find more information about Nash at cdck.cc/adoptnash. Thank you, guys. All right, so up next we have Piper. So Piper is being fostered by Andy, and Piper is a female Jack Russell Terrier mix. She is 1 year old and she is 21 pounds. So what can you tell us about Piper?
Well, as you can see, she's definitely got the Jack Russell Terrier part of the terrier mix down. But we think she's also got some Basset Hound and Pointer in her as well, because on her walk, she loves to sniff and investigate and find every single squirrel and bird and cat in the neighborhood. Piper is an exceptionally sweet and affectionate girl. She's about 1.5 years. We have had her for about 3 weeks now. The first day that she came home, she immediately jumped into our laps and gave us face kisses. So the day that she came home was the day that she decided that this is a good place for her to be. She's endlessly adaptable, I think. She's very playful. She's very affectionate. She lives in a house with 2 cats, who you might see walking by in just a minute. And she's very good with them. You can see one of the cats in the corner there now. The cat you can see on screen is about her age, also about 1.5 years old. And they have started to kind of tentatively play together. But Piper has never been more than the cats can handle. She has always taken the cat's cues for when it's time to stop. The senior cat has very clearly informed her that it is not, they're not going to have a relationship where they play. And so she has been very good about leaving him alone, but has definitely decided that she and the younger cat are going to be best friends. Yeah.
Well, she sounds adorable. Well, what 3 words would you use to describe Piper?
I would say that she is affectionate. She's very inquisitive and very talkative. Although today I might give her the adjective stinky because somebody rolled in a rat carcass on our walk this afternoon. But normally more talkative, affectionate, and inquisitive than stinky.
Well, that's good to hear. What is your favorite thing about Piper?
She is just the friendliest dog that I have ever met. Any person or animal that comes by her, she wants to be good friends with. She just has such a friendly outlook on the world. She does not bark a ton she's never barked at a new person. The only time that we've really heard her bark at someone is when she hears people on the stairs outside of our condo. But on our walks, she is ready to say hi and be friendly with people and with their dogs. She wants to be friends with the cats here. She was immediately very affectionate with us. And she's the biggest snuggle bug in the world.
Awesome, yeah. Well, what would you think her ideal forever home would look like?
I think she would do best in a home where she could have people around her most of the time. We have done a little bit she's mostly good in the crate when we're around, but when we leave, she will bark for probably 20 or 30 minutes until she quiets herself down. She really wants to be close to people, I think, especially close to her people. So if you are working from home, being able to kind of have a dog around is, I think, good. I think she would do well in a home too where there are other animals, at least where she can find some stimulation, because she really likes her toys. She really likes running around and playing. But I think she would do well with friends around, and she's left. Piper.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Piper? Oh,
No, I think that's about it for Piper. She's very good. She's very friendly, and I think she's ready for a good forever home.
Great, great. Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you, Piper, of course. You can find more information about Piper at cdck.cc/adoptpiper. Great, thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Sarah. Sarah is being fostered by Leah. Sarah is a female Labrador Retriever mix. She is 11 months old and 30 pounds. So Leah, can you tell us a little bit about Sarah?
Sure. So I've been fostering Sarah since about mid-December. She came from Bladen County, North Carolina, and she's an absolute joy. She loves to have fun. She makes everything into a little party. So she's just a lot of fun to be with, and she makes us laugh all the time. She's probably closer to 40 pounds now. She's about 11 months, so she's gotten a little older, gained a little weight as she should, as she's been with us for the last couple months. Do not let snooze mode fool you. She has a lot of energy, which we are able to meet with a couple really good walks. She really likes going on walks, even in our very busy neighborhood, and then frequent bouts of playing with my dog in our small backyard. So she's been doing really well. Can also report she does great in the car. We go to the Eastern Shore of Maryland quite a bit, and she mostly just sleeps in the back seat. And she's really come a long way on her training as well. So we've really enjoyed seeing her grow and learn and adapt as she settled into the city.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. How is she doing with her training so far?
She's doing very well. When she first came up, she definitely struggled with house training. I think she was just too excited and too busy playing to think about having to tell someone to go outside. So quite a few accidents when she first arrived, but she's really come a long way. I think in any transition, I would expect accidents if she were to transition to her forever family in the beginning. But now she can, if she's out of the crate and playing and just kind of around in our house, she definitely needs to go outside every 2 to 3 hours, more if she's playing, but she is crated during the day. I go into the office 3 days a week. So she's created those days, and we have a dog walker come during the day for that. And she's capable of holding it because she goes all night as well, sleeping in her crate. But it's just when she gets distracted and she's busy playing that sometimes she needs reminders to go outside. Although she has started going to the back door to let us know when she has to go outside. She's fantastic in the crate. As long as she gets her frozen Kong when we leave, I watch her and I'll check in on her on the Nest Cam, and she's just snoozing. So she has no issues there, either when we're gone or at night. She's very quiet in her crate at night. She sleeps in a crate in our bedroom. And yeah, she's super smart. She learned sit, in like the first day. Twice I asked her to sit before I put her food down, and now she automatically does it every time I bring her food bowl to her. And she gets really excited when she sees other dogs on walks, and she kind of manifests that by sitting down and just watching them to see if they're going to come over and say hi. So I taught her 1, 2, 3, where she gets a treat on 3, and she's really learned to focus on me, and she knows that she gets treated. So she's definitely doing a lot better with her leash training as well.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Can you tell us any stories that show off her personality?
She's a goofball. I know. Similar. I think we must be entering sleepy time with many of the dogs tonight, because she is typically more high energy than this. But one of my favorite things that she does is, as I mentioned, we go to the Eastern Shore a lot, and there's a colony or a group of ducks that likes to hang out in the harbor on our morning walk, and she is just fascinated by them. And she doesn't bark, she doesn't lunge or pull. She just sits and just watches them like it's TV. And I think it just shows her curiosity. She remembers when she's seen a squirrel in a tree, she'll look at that tree every time she walks by. And she just really likes walking with my dog and sniffing. And if my dog sniffs a tree, she has to sniff a tree. So just I think it showcases her just curiosity and just her exploring nature.
Awesome. What has surprised you the most about Sarah?
She's very, I think how smart she is. As I mentioned, she basically learned to sit for her food after twice I asked her to do it. She's super food motivated. She has learned that cheese is awesome and she will pretty much do anything for it. So it's been fun training her just because she catches on so quickly. I've never seen a dog learn down faster than her. Usually that's something I feel like dogs will struggle with, but she learned so quickly. So it's really been fun kind of just going through the basic commands because she is such a quick learner. And then my dog will like demonstrate as well. So, but she's very, very smart and very food motivated.
She sounds great. Well, what does her ideal forever home look like?
She's fairly adaptable. I will say, I think in a transition, I would expect some accidents and things like that. She is still, because she's only 11 months old, she was pretty mouthy and nippy when she first came up, and that's pretty much resolved. But just in case that were to come out in a transition, probably no small kid. She also likes to jump on people and give them hugs when she first meets them. So, and even though she's pretty small, she's compact. Those 40 pounds can really go away. So probably no small kids. She loves to play with our dog. We are working on some training on just teaching her to take breaks. My dog is almost 8 years old and does not want to play 24/7. So we're working with Sarah to kind of teach her, how to appropriately play, how to read my dog's cues that my dog is done playing. So that's something we're working on and something her forever family, if they have other dogs, would probably need to work on as well. She loves to play. She just needs to kind of learn to regulate it a little bit. But I don't think she wouldn't require, based on how she is with us, someone that works from home. As I mentioned, we're both gone 3 days a week and she's great with the dog walker and fine going back in her crate again. So in that regard, she's pretty flexible with schedules.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Sarah?
You can't see because she's snoozing, but she has beautiful, like amber colored eyes that really match her coat. And I wish that she was a little bit more awake. There you go. I just think she has the most beautiful eyes. And I've never had a foster dog, I think, that gets stopped as much as she does when we're walking around the neighborhood. People just want to say hi, and I'm like, she's gonna jump, and they're like, that's okay. And then they're giving each other hugs and snuggles, and she thinks that's the greatest thing ever.
Awesome. Well, she looks adorable and sounds perfect. So thank you again, Sarah and Leah. Oh, thank you again, Leah and Sarah, of course. You can find more information about Sarah at cdck.cc/adoptsarah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, so last but not least, we have Ziva. She is being fostered by Leslie. So Ziva is a female Labrador Retriever mix. She is 1 year old and 32 pounds. So Leslie, could you tell us a little bit about Ziva?
Hi. Yep. So this is Ziva. I do have some training treats in my hand, so I am very interesting right now. Ziva, sit. Sit. All the way sit. Sit. So Ziva's a sweetheart. She is very distracted because I waited way too long to give her a treat. Sit down. Good girl. She's a sweetheart. Ziva is she's been with us a little over 2 months now. Sit down. You're not sitting down. She is super sweet. She's super playful. She loves dogs. She loves exploring. She loves outside. She loves toys. She can be a little timid in new situations. Like new people can be really scary until she gets the chance to warm up to them. But once she does, she's just super cute. She's getting really good at snuggles. And she's a lot of fun.
Awesome. What is her favorite toy?
Her favorite toy kind of changed. Sit down. Good girl. Her all-time favorite toy is Pink Tug. It came with her. She's a big fan of Tug. She'll also kind of whatever, we have 3 dogs of our own, and so kind of whatever the most popular toy is, she wants to like follow suit. So right now, they're a big fan of the blue dog with the lots of squeakies. This one's a lot of fun. She likes to pull the squeakers out, but she doesn't like to eat them. So we're really grateful for that. She also loves, we have like these monster balls. They're like spiky, squeaky balls with fuzz around them. And she is really happy, especially if you're being boring. She's happy to just walk around the house and skeeka, skeeka, and just keep it in her mouth and squeak and squeak and squeak and have a great time. But really, I don't think Ziva's ever met a toy that she does not love. So she's really not picky.
Oh, she sounds so adorable. Well, I see that you're on her training with her right now. So how is she doing with that?
She's doing well. So definitely routines help her a lot. She's got sit down pat right now. I definitely had her on the couch with treats in my hand all the way through Sarah. So she's like, I am done. Give me the treats. She's got sit down. She understands down. She's not great at doing it consistently. She's a little scared of shake, like I said. She can be really timid about stuff. And so like you grabbing for her part, like her body part, she's like, wait, what are you doing? Why? Is it a trap? So that's not great. But in terms of routine, when it's breakfast and dinner time, she knows to go to her spot. She knows which bowl is hers. She knows she's supposed to sit down, and then she's supposed to wait until you say okay to start eating. She's really good about that. She's gotten really good at her crate. She didn't want to go in the crate a whole lot when we first got her, and I think she thought we were going to be gone a long time or she was going to be lonely, but we have another crate kind of right near hers, and so now even like she'll watch us get ready to go out, or like as we're putting our shoes on, or like I'm spraying my perfume, you know, she kind of can tell, and she'll just go right in her crate and wait. And she's just sitting in her bed, being great. And she's really good in the crate. She can be in the crate a long time. She doesn't love being in the crate if everyone else is home and loose. Good girl, sit. But because she really wants to be where the people are, she wants to be where the dogs are. But if we're not home, we can leave her in the crate for a good long while and be fine. Come back. Oh, you're itchy. Okay. Come here. You want another snack? Come on. Come here.
Okay, well, what's a perfect day look like for Ziva?
Oh gosh, a perfect day for Ziva. Come here. Okay. Okay. We're gonna sit on the floor now. It's maybe more impressive, so I'll get her treats faster. There she is. So a perfect day for Ziva. You would wake up when she felt like it, which usually is pretty good. It's definitely like the sun is up. But it would involve a lot of trips into the backyard. She loves to run around. She has recently discovered she really enjoys sticks. She likes to pick up sticks. She likes to impress you with her sticks. She likes to run away if you try to chase her to get the stick. She also occasionally likes to eat the stick. So lots of trips to the backyard. She really enjoys walks. She definitely, because she is timid, Ziva, come here. Come here. Get up on the couch. You want this? She's also bored. She definitely she likes walks. She's getting better at occasionally, like if there's like a car backfires or there's like a big boom, that can get a little scary. She loves to walk. She went to the dog park for the very first time yesterday, and overall she did great. Dogs tried to like a really sweet dog tried to chase her, and she kind of freaked out and like squealed and like went into submissive position because she was like, please don't attack me, and the dog was like, what, I just want to play. And when she figured that out, she figured out how to like chase the dog, and she had a really good time. She was very sweet. And apparently is all done with me. Thanks. Hang on one sec. Lena, Ziva and the snacks would like to be reunited, please. Sorry, she'll be back when I have food to offer her again, because she knows her siblings are in the bedroom, so she could get some solo time. So yeah, her ideal day would have plenty of playtime. It would have a nice long walk. It would have plenty of trips to the backyard, lots of toys, lots of snuggles. Thank you. And we're back with snacks. So yeah, she also loves to eat, in case you can't tell. She is more and more food motivated the longer she's here, which with 3 beagle siblings is not that surprising. But yeah, it would be lots of fun. There would be lots of people and dogs around, people she knows, and dogs and play and snuggles. She also loves a good fuzzy blanket, and if you need her to settle, we just put a fuzzy blanket on the couch or on the bed. She's like, I want to be playing. And so just kind of snuggle up, curl up in a little ball, and take a really good nap or fillet in the sunshine like a cat on the floor.
It's like your mic went kind of fuzzy for a second.
Oh no! At which point?
It sounds normal now, I don't know if you were moving or maybe something brushed the mic, but I just wanted to make sure everyone on the live stream could hear you clearly. But I think the problem is solved now.
It's probably that we were crinkling a treat bag and moving, but I'm glad that the mic is back.
Anyways, what does your ideal forever home look like?
So Ziva's ideal forever home, pretty much definitely has another dog or more than one dogs. More than one dog. I can speak English, maybe. Because she's kind of timid and she can get really overwhelmed, she's another dog who likes to play and who can like model confident behaviors are important for her when she's not sure how to handle a situation. She definitely looks to her foster siblings here to show her like, do we picnic, do we sit, do we bark, like what do we do?
I think
Her ideal home is also in the suburbs. She definitely, with her giant bat ears, she would get way overstimulated by the amount of noise that's in the city. We have like a little tiny backyard that's fenced in, and that's great. It's totally fine. Suburbs are fine. Country would be fine, but too much ambient noise would get problematic for her, I think. Her forever home, obviously she's good in her crate. She can handle the crate, but if there were somebody who were home more often than not, she would love that. Though it's not mandatory, but definitely just somebody who understands that she kind of warms up to new people and new things in her own time. And that she can kind of need a little and a little patience. So probably not a house with small kids. I think they'd be too loud and too unpredictable. And that would get really overwhelming, but like older kids, probably like 10, 11, 12 and up would be fine. And just, yeah, people who just want like just a funny, she's funny and she's clever and she's got lots of quirks and she's a very sweet girl.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Ziva?
I think just like she's got some, where are you? There you are. Yes, that's the bag of snacks. She's got some like really funny quirks and she's really expressive. She'll tell you what she wants. She also like she's discovered that she's in love with ice cubes. So anytime you open the freezer door, so like fill up your water bottle or something, she's standing right beside the freezer and waits patiently for you to hand her a crunch water. And then she like prances off with her prize and will happily like chew it up. And you know, the next time you fill up your water bottle, whether it's an hour later or a day later, she's like right back for another one. She's just really funny. She just knows who she is and she's gotten really confident here. And I think she's gonna make a family really happy.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you. So you can learn more about Ziva at cdck.cc/adoptziva. Like, thank you guys, and thank you, Ziva.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the end of the event. Thank you so much to our amazing fosters and their pups for joining us, and to everyone who took their time out of their evening to tune in. If you're interested in any of these dogs or any of our wonderful adoptable dogs, please visit our website to learn more. We're also always looking for people to foster, and if you can't adopt right away, you can spread the word about these adorable cuties, and that can also make a huge difference. Thanks so much again, everyone, and have a great rest of your